Hey everyone, Ryan Young, KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu. Hope you're doing well. Here's the story. Somebody comes into our studio and maybe they see a video, maybe they don't, one of ours, but for some reason, they think to themselves, there's something at my school that's missing. I don't quite know what it is because I haven't been out, but something is missing. And I'm gonna go look around at other schools in the area to see what's going on over there. So for people who are looking to make a change, we always welcome them into our studio. We had one in particular come in last week, and this person was just training for a few months, not even that long. Not even sure why they were looking for another school, but had gone and attended classes at about 3 or 4 other schools in the area. And one of the things that I guess took that person by surprise was the person asks me, oh, because one of my students was playing guard and the other stood up in the guard, and the one playing guard went and grabbed the pants like this. And that visitor asked us, you can't grab like that. I said, why not? And that person said, it's illegal. Illegal. Yeah, we're told that that's not the way you're supposed to grab. You're supposed to, grab the ankle or grab like this, what we call a pistol grip, right? Or I guess there's another one they'll do kind of like this, put the thumb. Anyway, and I just said, no, there's no illegal here. Grab any way you want. Grab whatever way works. And me as the person wearing the pants in this case, I have to deal with that particular grip. Or how that person was with a partner, we were doing standing up and guard drills. This visitor just came right on up, right off the ground. And you know how big I am on not letting yourself get slammed. And that student of mine told this person, let your guard go. And this person is like, why? I have the guard, I don't want to let it go. Well, yes, you do because of the slam. And then it was, but you can't slam me. Well, it's like, well, yeah, I can. Right? And it'll hurt a lot. So don't let yourself get into the position. And this visitor then realized, wait a minute, something is very different here, because all the other, the school that they train at and the ones that they went to visit, they all had the same, they were all in, what's that term? In simpatico. They were all in agreement there. You can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't hit somebody while you're training. Whereas with us, we were drilling to where, I was mounted on this person and I showed them how to get out, right? Trying to do it our way. To me, it's the right way, but it's our way. There's a lot of right ways, but to us, it's the right way. And I said, okay, now here's what happens. Now, what do you do if I'm doing this? And I'm not hitting the person hard, just, doing the forehead. And just by simply doing this, it makes somebody freeze up, right? And this person goes, you can do that? And I'm saying, yeah, why not? We do it all the time, right? You have to be able to deal with this when you're training. And it just goes back to that whole mentality about how somebody will say, it's all jiu-jitsu. There's no self-defense jiu-jitsu, and there's no difference between sport and self-defense. It's all jiu-jitsu. To which I say, not really. This isn't the first person that's come into our studio and was completely unprepared to deal with a simple mount escape when somebody's just simply touching your head, right? You don't know what to do. It's because it never happens. And it never happens in training. What makes you think that in a situation where you're not training that you're actually going to be able to do it? And it just kind of went through a couple nights, different scenarios that as the class was going along, showing how there is something different and that it's not the same as what this person had seen. And I just said, but what we're doing is traditional. We've always done this. From when I started, there was a period of time when we didn't do it. When I was over at some other schools that just didn't do it, but back at Dave's, we do it. And we do it as a general rule, especially during the summer when we're training without the gi tops on. It's just something to make you realize that there are other options. Now, here's the thing. If you get into a bad situation, if you're fighting with a criminal, some criminals are very creative. Creative in that, You're gonna be fighting with them. They're not gonna adhere by a certain set of rules. In fact, they don't even know the rules. They're criminals. They don't abide by rules. They don't abide by laws. They have to think of creative ways to be able to get away with committing their crimes. It's probably no different in a fight. You know, they're gonna be looking for stuff to grab. They're gonna be grabbing you in a way that you're not expecting, and you have to be able to deal with it. So one of the things that we try to be is we try to be creative on our end to try to get into the mind of what would somebody do, right? What would somebody do if somebody has me locked up? You know, if you've got me locked up, there's gotta be a way that I can try to hit you. And we think about it, how can we do it? How can we play dirty? How can we, you know, it's as simple as even just sticking my thumb in your rib cage, right? Some people will get tickled, but as soon as they get tickled, then they let go what they're holding and I'm out. And then it comes down to, Ryan, you can't do that. Well, why not? Well, you can't do it in a tournament. Well, I don't care. I'm not gonna do it in a tournament, but I can do it here all I want. Ryan, you can't slap me in the face. Well, yeah, I can, right? And you know, in fact, there's, you know, I'll slap you in the rib cage. I'll hit you in the gut. I'll headbutt you in the chest. But it's all to show you that you may think you're safe in one position, but there are other things that can happen that would make you not safe. So you need to know how to deal with all of them. Now, if there are 10 different options, 10 different things that can happen to you, you may not be able to deal with all 10, but maybe you can deal with 8, knowing that there's 2 that you're not addressing, but that are there. And if they start to signal that that they're gonna be going that way, you can now be aware of it, if you are aware of it, and you can deal with it and defend it. To me, Jiu-Jitsu is different today than it was when I started. And it's because for us, Jiu-Jitsu is self-defense. The traditional Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is self-defense geared. Now, a lot of people will say, well, you know, they like to knock Gracie Torrance or Gracie University as they're known now, because they do offer online training. Yes, I do get some of the issues with training online, but everybody offers online stuff now, right? BJJ Fanatics, right? And there's also Galler. Everybody's on there offering DVDs, you know, or streaming videos. You know, they're all trying to sell you how they do things. Why? Because there is a thirst for knowledge. Now, techniques are one thing. Systems are a completely different thing. Now, I can show you technically how we do this and how we do that, but is it part of an entire system? It is part of an entire system, but you know, are you learning the entire system or are you just learning techniques? That's where I think a value of going to a school lies. It's in the system that they teach, and every school should have a system, but not everybody does, right? So our system is this. Our thing is to be able to train and have fun and train at a very high level, also knowing that stuff can go south pretty quickly. And if they do go south, you have to be able to deal with it. And the only way you can deal with it is to be aware of it and train in it. If you don't know of it and you don't train in it, then you're ignorant. And if you're ignorant, then when it does happen, you're surprised. You may get punched in the face one time and think to yourself, what the heck was that? And then the second, third, fourth, fifth comes and you're completely shell-shocked and don't know what to do because you haven't trained for it. So people who tell me, Ryan, you don't know shit because a trained wrestler or a trained whatever will be able to do stuff. Okay, well, you got the UFC that just happened a little while ago. Ben Askren, Olympic wrestler, right? Didn't win the gold medal, lost in the whatever match he did, but Olympic caliber wrestler. It doesn't get better than that, right? Goes in and he fights George Masvidal. Well, George is creative. He did something that was unorthodox. Now, it's getting to be more common seeing a flying knee come up. But when they interviewed Ben after that, he says, yeah, I thought that it was a possibility. But what happened? He went for the double leg and got kneed right in the head or in the collarbone or wherever he got hit. But he got hit. Why? Because of his training. He didn't train to deal with that. He trained as a wrestler. And when you look at his training now, he probably does most of his training wrestling. Doesn't do so much of it with punches flying, with somebody throwing knees at you. I don't know what his training regimen is, but his training is such that what happened there in that split second is exactly what he's been training for years. So if you're training doing that for years, that's what you're gonna do, and that's my contention. If you're training sport jiu-jitsu for years, Then when a situation comes when you're gonna need to know self-defense, you will not know. You'll be clueless. You won't see it coming and you won't know what to do. If you're always training to go left, go left, go left, go left, and all of a sudden you need to go right, if you've never gone right, what makes you think you're gonna go right? Sure, you see it and you know it, but you're gonna go left. It's as simple as that. Same thing with judo, right? I love judo, right? Judo's phenomenal for what it's designed to do. But if you look at every judo practitioner, when they walk up to another judo practitioner, they walk up like this, with their hands outstretched. You know, you can get kicked, somebody can kick your knee out and kick your face, right? They're just thinking, okay, I'm gonna grab your gi, you're gonna grab mine. Or I may stop you from grabbing my gi, but they're only worrying about breaking grips off. They're not worried about a punch coming to you. You need to train to where you're getting punches thrown at you at least sometimes. And you need to train to where somebody's trying to stab you at least sometimes, right? If you never do it, you have zero familiarity with it. So will you know what to do by being a top level world champion Jiu-Jitsu black belt? I don't know. I really don't. If you're training, if you train and do the other stuff, then yeah, probably. But if you don't, and all you do are the stuff that you see in a competition and that you do in a competition, you can have 10,000 matches. You can be 10,000-0, but it won't mean anything if what you're confronted with never ever happened in a match. And it never ever happened in your training. So I just wanted to bring that story up to you. It just kind of validates what I'm trying to tell you. Whether you take what I'm saying seriously or not, that's fine, right? If you're training jiu-jitsu for sport, for competition, great, more power to you. If you're looking for self-defense, but you're at a competition-only school, you might need to find a couple of other doors to open and walk through. If you're doing a self-defense type program and you want to do competition, you may need to look for some competition avenues to open up as well, right? All I'm saying is that you need to know first what you want, right? This person who I was telling you about, who I was describing, who came into the school, did not know what they wanted. They just started taking jiu-jitsu because they thought it'd be a thing to do because their friend did it. But for some reason, this person decided to look elsewhere 3 months into it, which just kind of tells me something. If you think you're particularly vulnerable, you may not know exactly how you're vulnerable, but you do have a feeling. It's a gut feeling that some people have. And they go and then seek something else. And I think that's what this person was doing. Maybe, maybe not. That's just what I think. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining us. I want to thank you for the questions. I want to thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If there's anything that you need and you'd like answered, go ahead and hit me in the comments below. I'll be happy to get to it as soon as I can. Also, if you want to help the channel out, and we'll be very grateful if you do, hit our links below. We've got a Teespring link for Kama Jiu-Jitsu t-shirts, and the premium shirt is next level. I mean, it's a next level brand t-shirt, so they're nice shirts. I mean, they're not the old cheapy type of shirts. I mean, this is good stuff. This is what we print up for our students in the studio as well. And then also we've got the Hicks and Gracie self-defense unit that you can purchase through us, through our link. It doesn't cost you anymore, but it helps us out. And also the KAATARO belts. And the KAATARO belts are fantastic. I've got 4 or 5 of them myself, and multiple students here have them. Custom belts or semi-custom belts, and they're not that pricey, but they're super nice. Anyway, link below, and it helps the channel out. It doesn't cost you anymore as well. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Take care. Happy training. Bye-bye now.